and relative to why people fail in like goal setting and business, right? So I just had, I'm thinking about two particular people. I'm thinking about this woman, think about a woman, and I'm like, just write your goals, ma'am, write your goals, and like actually write them down. And I'm like, what's your day to day like? No written goals, no nothing. So it's part of the reason why she can't like get anywhere, right? Nobody wants to do like, oh, I don't want to write my goals down. It's like, I know it's all in my brain, right? Or process, oh, I don't want to write that down. It's all in my brain. Like one of the things that I do that really helped me with this is like, I have processes and frameworks that I take people through. And when I help them do something, right? And that's part of the reason why I write so much. So I can make sure that it's simple enough for people to understand, right? If you have a complicated process or anything complicated, you want to write. Like one of the best ways you could communicate is by writing, right? That's why I'm a big fan of books, right? If you can't take your process and put it into writing or some kind of presentation, like, is it really a process? Are you really able to teach people that, right? If you're an expert and you're doing all of this stuff and it's hard to communicate, then what's the point, right? You can't change lives. You can't help people, right? And one of the big reasons why I'm so confrontational about this stuff is because people are out there being selfish, thinking all about themselves, and they're harming other people in the process, right? You're harming other people in the process because you're being selfish and you're not taking feedback or coaching or, doing some of the things that you're told. So this is a big part of the reason why people struggle, right? I was just listening to a video training, and it was by the director of marketing for Alex Hormozy's company. Alex Hormozy is he has a company called Gym Lounge, and he works with gyms. And the director of marketing, Tobias, he said that they always get back to the fundamentals. They always go back to the fundamentals. It doesn't matter how fancy things are. It's like, what are the fundamental things that we can do to make sure things are working? And that's the reason why I bring this up, right? It's the fundamentals. So I'm going to go over a fundamental law, right, on like goal setting and why people can't get stuff done. Can't get stuff done because we're missing the basics. We're missing the fundamentals. Okay. So share my screen and I'm going to play some music for you. Let's go with Lounge. All right. So what I want to talk about today, I want to talk about Parkinson's law, and I want to make this relative and relevant to you, right? So, what is Parkinson's law? I believe I have a screenshot. Yeah. So, Parkinson's law is, you're going to see it pop up in a little bit. You can like Google this if you want to. But all right, so while it's loading, basically Parkinson's law, it is, here it goes. It's an adage that work expands to fill the times allotted for its completion. So what does that mean? What does that mean in simple terms? Let's minimize that, right? So Parkinson's law means what that just said, but let's simplify it, right? So I'm gonna get my marker here and I'm gonna go with black. So a really good example, right? I help people write books. And I simplified the process, but one of the key components of doing and like getting their book together, or another thing I help people do is like a marketing system. I'm really big on fast, right? I'm like, let's get it done fast. And it's the same fundamental principles, right, that I would do over 12 years. It's the same principles I would do over 12 years. I do over 12 months. I do over 12 weeks. I do over 12 hours. I do over 12 minutes, right? It's the same stuff. But the reason why I'm able to make it faster is because I use what you see here, Parkinson's law, right? We use Parkinson's law to work with us, not against us, right? So Parkinson's law, again, is the old adage that work expands to fill the time slot allotted. So what does that mean? A really good example would be if I have a project I'm working on, and let's just say a book, right? Since that's one of the things that we offer, and I'm like excited about what we got coming up in September. If you're interested in it, send me an email. You can see my email on the screen over here. If you want to like write a book, we help you get your book done in 4 hours, right? You want to do that, email me. So Parkinson's law means, right? Let's say you wanted to write a book as a business owner. And let's say you gave yourself time, right? And the time you've given yourself is, people hate this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Let's say the time you've given yourself is 1 day, right? This is what people say, right? So I don't mean literally 1 day. Let's actually do instead someday. So if you give yourself time someday, that's vague, right? You're never going to get it done because someday is vague and you don't even really understand what someday is. So I can imagine what your brain and what other people think someday is. So if you told yourself, I'm going to write a book someday, guess how long it's going to take you, right? We've come through our workshop and we've had some people come through and say, you've helped me do in 1 day what I couldn't do in 10 years. 1 day what I couldn't do in 10 years. A matter of hours what I couldn't do in months, right? We have like presentations. These are literally words and things that people say. And it's not just our workshops. It's our entire processes, right? So Parkinson's law, if you come through and you have a goal and you say, I'm going to do it someday is someday. That's vague and it'll likely never get done, right? Someday is so far in the future, it's vague. Nobody, like, what does that even mean, right? And I work with a lot of people and sometimes I get some hard-headed people and they get resistance when I ask for deadlines and dates because they're not being realistic about what it is that they're trying to achieve, right? Someday is not a date. Even tomorrow is vague, right? Tomorrow when? What time tomorrow, right? Are you doing tomorrow at 12:59? Are you doing tomorrow at 8 o'clock, right? People hate deadlines, right? Unproductive people hate deadlines, right? People that don't want to achieve more, they hate deadlines because it holds them accountable, right? So if you give me a time and you say, yeah, I'm going to get that done by 11, it should be done by 11. If you're working with the right people, they're going to be on you at 11 o'clock. 11:01 comes, where is it, right? And that's what people hate. They hate that accountability in things. So Parkinson's law, if you use it to work against yourself, someday in this instance means who the hell knows when you're going to get that done. Now, what if we can, let's crystallize, right? So let's do it again. We're going to still use Parkinson's law and we're going to use our, another objective, right? So now we're saying we're going to write a book within, let's say we're going to use the number 12. So I'm going to go down here and you say you're going to write your book in 12 months, right? So when you tell yourself that psychologically, you put it out into the universe, you put it out to your God, whatever you believe in, guess what happens? Things start to come together so you can start to achieve that, right? You ever think about this. There's a movie called The Secret and it focuses on the law of attraction, right? And it's like when you start paying attention to a certain car, right? Let's just say you start paying attention to blue cars. Guess what you're going to see a lot? You're going to see a lot of blue cars, right? Because the universe is aligning things up so you can, in your attention and your intentions to see what it is that you're trying to achieve. Right. So now we're more crystallized and we can start to see stuff. Right. And you can go even more specific and you say a blue Ford Taurus as an example. And you start to see more of those blue Ford Tauruses because that's what your focus and your intention is. Right. So one of the main components of Parkinson's law is the intent. Right. And you can use it to start creating your goals and achieving the things that you want to achieve. So now that we went from this vague someday, 1 day next week, sometime in the future, now we're like a little more clear. Now, 12 months is not bad, right? But when you want to achieve specific goals, and I know that you can achieve this stuff much faster, I know that you can do better, right? So again, a really good example is we have a process where we help people write books. And we help people get their book done in days, not months, right? Not weeks. We help you get it done in like really, really fast. Like, it's one of my favorite processes because of the experience that people get and the results that they achieve from putting the process into place. All right, so let's go deeper. And all right, so 12 months, that's still vague, right? Um, it's still vague. Like people hate deadlines because they hate accountability. And I understand it, but the productive people, they don't hate deadlines. They appreciate them, right? That's why I'm so confrontational. That's why I like deadlines. That's why I like dates. That's why I like specifics. Okay, because I have people that have to serve, and they benefit from those deadlines, those specifics, etc. I'm not a selfish person. All right, so here we go. Back to Parkinson's law. Now let's just say someday, like that, we went from the vague someday to the 12 months, which is still a long time. And according to Parkinson's law, one of the things I meant to say is if you tell it 12 months, the law of the universe, everything is going to start coming into place so you can achieve this within 12 months, right? You can achieve this thing in 12 months because you put it out as some kind of goal, right? Now, if you don't know about like writing a book, for example, 12 months can seem like a short period of time, but this is actually a very long time to write a book. Very long time, right? So one of the things that we do is, again, we help with Parkinson's law. So with Parkinson's law, we take the same goal of writing a book and we get it down even further, right? So for example, we're going to say we want to get this book done in 12 weeks, right? So these points are start to finish, right? Start to finish, start to finish. So now we have a process where we're saying we're going to get this in 12 weeks is a little more realistic than 12 months, right? If you do 12 months, you probably never get it done. All right, so now we're saying 12 weeks. Get this project done, and it doesn't have to be a book, it can be any project. Now we're saying 12 weeks, so we went from someday to 12 months to 12 weeks. And now let's just do, let me get that in there for you. Start. And now start to finish. Now, right, so we have those goals there. Now we have 12 weeks, which is a little more realistic on writing a book. Like this is more practical, more realistic on getting a book done, right? Include like the entire process. So with Parkinson's law, if we tell ourselves, I'm going to get this book done in 12 weeks, guess what we're going to do? And guess what the universe is going to do with us, right? Because it's concise, because it's calculated, because it's focused, we're going to get that thing done in 12 weeks, right? Which is very healthy, right? I would say maximum time you should spend on like putting a book together is like this, 12 weeks, right? So when we put 12 weeks as the deadline, the goal, the accountability, we get this done in 12 weeks. Now, one of the things about my process, right? And I don't do anything special or amazing. I'm actually not even smart, right? I just do what I'm told and I do what works, right? That's all it is. People think I'm smart because I implement and I do what I'm told, but I'm really not that smart. Okay. So the reason why I mention that is because I want you to know anybody can do this. I'm really not that smart. Okay. So here is where the magic happens, right? Here's how you make Parkinson's law work with you even better, right? So we got 12 weeks, and now with processes, tools, technology, and systems, you can get this stuff done even faster, right? So in order for me to get my first book done, I think I set a healthy deadline to try to get it done in 7 days, which I did not achieve, but I got it done in 30 days, right? I got it done in 30 days because I set things up and I made that a deadline, right? So here's how you make Parkinson's law work in your favor, right? One of the things that we do is we help you get this thing done in 4 hours, right? So there you go, start to finish. So now what we're doing is we're using Parkinson's law, and now what we're going to do is we're going to turn this thing and get this thing done, right? We're still talking about the book project. We're going to get this thing done in 4 hours. I know to some people that means, man, that seems tough, but it's not. We make it really easy for you to get your book done in 4 hours. So this is how you make Parkinson's law work for you instead of against you, right? Like when you use these laws, the law of attraction, Parkinson's law, Pareto principle, when you go against them, you lose, right? It may be uncomfortable for you to get something done. You might want it to be perfect in 12 weeks. So you're gonna take 12 months, etc. Right? But generally, I'm talking to business owners, right? And your job as a business owner is not to be so selfish where you let perfection hold you back. Your job as a business owner is to serve other people. And the more people that you serve, the more you get paid, right? So if you want to be selfish and you want to think about being selfish in a way, that's how you do it, right? You apply and you be selfish by going out and serving more people so they can pay you more, so you can make more money, right? You have more tools, you have more resources. Be selfish in that way, not selfish in a way where you're thinking something is all about you, right? So use this law in your favor, right? Let's just go back over it like a quick, brief overview, right? Parkinson's law, right? So the bottom line here is Parkinson's law is the old adage that work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. So what that means is if you say you're going to do a book someday, right? And it's vague, one day I'm going to get to it. One day I'm going to finish that project. One day I'm going to start a business. You're likely, I'm not going to say never, but when you wake up and you finally start this, you're going to regret not starting sooner, right? You're going to be so far behind, you're going to regret not starting sooner, right? If you could be more realistic and crystallize, have more realistic deadlines, right? This is why accountability helps. This is why coaching, masterminds, this is why this stuff helps, right? If you can start to be more realistic and you get around some people that don't just tell you what you want to hear, right? So you feel good, you start to get more realistic results, more realistic things, right? So 12 months, right? I'm going to start that business within 12 months. Still a little vague, but it's better than someday, right? So we got we got Parkinson's law working in our favor to help us get all of this achieved within 12 months. Furthermore, one of the things that you can do is 12 weeks. I think this is the most time you should take for like anything, right? 12 weeks to get something started, 12 weeks to run your ads, to write your book, to start your business, right? Do that. And specifically, like if you use Parkinson's law, right? I was talking about writing the book specifically. In this instance, right? It means you can get a lot done much faster. So I just did a post on social media and people say, Jerome, how do you get so much done so fast? And it's like, I'm not fast, right? I just use this law, right, in my favor. And anybody can do the same thing, right? Anybody can do it, right? If you understand this law and you can understand how it can work with you instead of against you, you'll become more productive, right? Don't be like everyone else. When you ask for a deadline, you're squirming and whining and telling people, you're giving all kinds of excuses. I'm not as fast as you. I can't do it like you. Don't use those excuses, right? Get something out there, get something done. Use Parkinson's law, right? You want to achieve something, set a deadline on it, right? Set a deadline. What's the deadline? Get some accountability partners, get coaches, and set a deadline. It's find out, right? If you find out you're around the right people, they'll let you know. They'll let you know if that deadline is realistic or not. They'll tell you, right? So get accountability partners, get coaches, get other business owners, entrepreneurs, and help them, let them hold you accountable for your deadlines, right? 12 weeks could be realistic or it can be unrealistic depending on the project, right? So use Parkinson's law in your favor. It's one of the greatest things you'll discover on how to grow your business, how to be a better person, how to achieve your goals, etc. I was just thinking about it because I was doing a book workshop at the end of the month, and one of the biggest questions and one of the things that I get is people look at me like I'm just some amazing person because of the stuff that I do, and I'm really not amazing, right? I just do what I told, I implement, right? That's my superpower, right? Superpower. And who can't implement? Who can't do what they're told, right? And who can't do what they're told within the time frame that they're told to do it, right? So there's nothing special about me. That's why I love to use the moniker Mr. Implementation. There's nothing special about me. Really not smart, right? Really not amazing. I'm basic, fundamental, and I use the smartest thing about me might be, instead of working against something like Parkinson's law, the Pareto principle, etc., I work with it, right? I use my environment. Okay. So anybody can do the same thing, right? Make sure you get around the right coaches. Make sure you get around the right mentors. Make sure you set goals, right? And if I could leave you with one specific action item, right? If you have specific goals, right, and they extend beyond 12 weeks, I encourage you to find some accountability for those goals, right? Find accountability for those goals, because beyond 12 weeks starts to get vague, right? Starts to get vague, and not all goals, but that's why it's helpful to have accountability, right? You have a goal for the year, for the New Year's, etc. Get some accountability and try to squeeze that down. Try to squeeze that goal down a little bit further, right? It might be necessary to eliminate some stuff. Okay, so a good example is I had wasn't really a client, right? Just woman, and she kept editing videos. I said, why are you editing videos? How much time does it take for you to edit a video? And she said, like, way more time than it takes to create the video. I said, then you should pay someone to edit the videos for you instead of you doing it, right? So bottom line here, Parkinson's law, use it to work with you, not against you, right? Set goals, set deadlines, and set them tight. It's okay to set them tight. You won't die because you have to extend it a little bit, right? You won't die because you have to extend it a little bit, right? My name is Jerome Lewis. If you want to learn more, I have a book coming out called The 5-Day Business Book. And that is a book that teaches you how you can get your book done in 5 days or less, right? And the reason why I say 5 days is because most people aren't going to believe they can do it in the amount of time that I tell them they can do it, right? You can really get this done in 4 hours. But for the doubters and the non-believers, I have to say 5 days because that's a little more realistic, right? So I have a book coming out on that. If you're in real estate, you're a real estate entrepreneur, and you're interested in learning a little bit more about marketing, or you need help with implementation of marketing, or help with growing your business, etc., go get a copy of this book. All you have to do is visit my website, remarketingbook.com, and all you have to do is cover the shipping, and we'll send you a free copy. It's been updated for 2024. So we added some new stuff in there. We've updated the companion guide, etc. And this is a no nonsense book, right? I tell you everything that you need for your business to grow your business. It's a book that you can read from start to finish. However, you can open up to a particular chapter or particular thing that you're interested in and just read that chapter or implement that chapter, right? That's how I set up my books. I set them up so you can take it piece by piece and go implement that piece, right? Where are you stuck in your business? A really good example might be, I'm trying to get into paid ads. So here at chapter 6, we give you some strategies on how to optimize for paid advertising, right? Another example, chapter 2 is simplifying marketing and lead generation, right? Trying to understand marketing and lead generation, we show you how to simplify that. Chapter 10, what you need for marketing, right? And we go over, subcategories, your marketing goals, your marketing plan, your budget, the technology you need. You need to understand who you're talking to. You need to understand the medium, the message, etc. So enough about that. Go to the website, remarketingbook.com, get your copy. It's free. All you have to do is cover shipping. Shipping is $7.95, and we'll send you out a free hard copy of this book. All right. Other than that, my name is Jerome Lewis. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the other side. Don't let Parkinson's law work against you. Let it work for you. Set those goals, set those deadlines. 12 weeks should be the most that you need to set goals, especially if you're like a solo entrepreneur, right? If you're a bigger business, I can understand 12 months. But if you're a solo entrepreneur, right, it's time to start moving fast. Use Parkinson's law in your favor, right? Use it in your favor so it's not working against you, all right? I appreciate you, and I'll see you on the inside. Bye-bye.